Hey there guys, Mike here. Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection is back with a very special episode. This is my annual tribute to one of my favorite Western actors, and what I do is usually July, and I call this the Western Summer Watch-Along or Summer Watch-a-thon, and I spotlight a Western actor, and then I'll try to watch all his movies if I have them, search out a movie if I don't, and watch it, and then present them to you. And the very first one I did was on Randolph Scott. Second one I did Joel McCrea. Next year I did Audie Murphy, and last year I did John Wayne, and today I'm gonna spotlight Jimmy Stewart. Sometimes he's forgotten overall that he was a really good Western actor. He's starting to get the kudos now. A lot of people are really just kind of going for his Westerns now. I mean, those are starting to really build up some popularity, especially the ones he did with Anthony Mann. And everything. So this is in no special order. I just started watching them. I've seen these millions of times, it seems like, especially the Anthony Mann movies, which I'm going to talk about a lot. I'm sorry, but no particular order. Briefly again, July. Each night I would watch one of his movies, sometimes two if I could get through two, because some of his movies are long, and by the end of the month, I have all his movies. So all his Westerns, that is, guys. I think he only did, shit, I don't have my list here, but I think he did about 17 Westerns, 16, somewhere in there. Don't kill me, guys, but it's one of those. So I watched each one of those. So the first one I'm going to talk about, this is one of the ones he did in his later career. This may be one of the last Westerns he appeared in. I know this is the last Western that John Wayne did. In fact, his last movie. Unfortunately, he would pass away with cancer. But in 1976, a movie called The Shoest. And Jimmy Stewart has kind of a small part in it. I mean, it is kind of small. He plays the town doctor. John Wayne comes into town. His doctor has told him that, he's got something like cancer, tumor, and can't do anything about it, and he may pass away. So he kind of comes to this town. He's a infamous outlaw, and he tries to find a place to stay, he stays at this house. Gosh, what's her name? I always forget her name sometimes. I know I draw a blank doing this. Good Lord. What is her name? It's Humphrey Bogart's wife, and I can't. Why am I drawing a blank? I'm sorry. I'll leave these little things in, guys. Just Lauren Bacall. Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. The writing's really small in here and everything. And this is just off the cuff, by the way, guys. So this isn't rehearsed, or it's got a great big script for each one. I'm just off the top of my head, memory, and then, I watch this and everything and stuff. But now this is Lauren Bacall's in it. Ron Howard plays her son. He stays at this boarding house. At first they don't get along, but then he kind of makes his impression on everybody. I mean, John Wayne's charisma was like, wow. You know what I mean? He's one of the ultimate just cool guys. I mean, he could probably ask out any woman in the world and would go out. You know what I mean? He's just that kind of smooth, kind of just, smooth, confident, voice when he talks, John Wayne. But yeah, this is a release from Arrow Films. This is region A, so that means you can only watch this in America. It's region locked to the A only. But anyways, Arrow released this. This is really nice. It's got a slipcase and everything. But yeah, Jimmy Stewart plays the doctor in it, gives him his advice, gives him some stuff and everything. But yeah, very good movie. I mean, the Shoest, John Wayne's last movie. It's got Ron Howard, and then Jimmy Stewart's in it. So, anyways, next up, this is a Western made in, I believe, 1957. This is directed by, what was it? James Nelson. Now, originally, this movie was going to be a collaboration with Jimmy Stewart and Anthony Mann, but apparently they had a falling out somewhere between, preparation on this movie and stuff. So he was out, the director was out, everything. But the movie's called Night Passage, and really cool, made by Universal, 1957. It's got Audie Murphy in it. The great Dan DOA is in it. And then Brandon DeWild, the little boy from Shane, he's in this. Pretty good movie. There are some scenes, the scenes with him and his, his accordion, I think it is. It's kind of cheesy, but it's really good. There's some great shots of action on the train. There's some train scenes, and I really like that movie. It's very well photographed, very scenic and stuff, and I really like putting this one in and watching. But originally it was going to be Anthony Mann was going to be on this and everything, and I don't know, something happened. But anyways, Audie Murphy was in this too, so that's a double reason to see this, and even a triple reason to see this. It's got the great Dan DOA. Next up, guys, this is a Region B Blu-ray. That means this came from, I think this is a German. No, is this German? Yeah, this is a German Blu-ray edition. This is the very first teaming of Jimmy Stewart and Anthony Mann, 1950, Universal, Winchester 73. One of the greatest Westerns ever made, bar none, no argument. One of the best. I love this movie. It's so good. And this would start a movie partnership with Anthony Mann, and they would do some great movies in the upcoming years. So yeah, Winchester 73, check that one out. Next up, this is a double feature DVD. This has the Cheyenne Social Club and Fire Creek on there. Both really good. Fire Creek is really good, very underrated. It's got Henry Fonda in it, and then Henry Fonda is also in the Cheyenne Social Club, and it's that one's really good too. A little more comedic sometimes. Sometimes I'm kind of on the fence with the comedy westerns and stuff, but good movies, really good movies. Pick those up. There might be some better editions of those, but I have it on DVD. Now, next up, this is a movie from, I believe, 1965, and I believe this is John Ford's last Western, I believe. This is Cheyenne Autumn, and this is one of those big Panavision 70mm, Ultra Panavision widescreen movies. It's full of stars. They kind of did this off and on in the 60s. They would have movies, these big movies with like tons of stars in it and everything. They were trying to get everybody to the box office, But this is really good. John Ford directed it. It's got Richard Widmark, Carol Baker. Just a great cast. I mean, James Stewart plays Wyatt Earp. But I don't think it's very long. It's kind of a small little scene in there and stuff. But a good Western, one of those big Westerns, 158 minutes. Next up, this is a Blu-ray from Eureka Masters of Cinema. Love that label. It's a English label, British label. This is Region B only, so you have to have an all-region Blu-ray player to play this. If you try to put it in a regular American Plano Blu-ray player, it won't play it. It's locked. So anyways, this is the Man from Laramie. I walk around singing that song all the time and stuff. The Man from Laramie. Apparently it was a big hit, actually, the song and everything. And this is another one of the team-ups with Anthony Mann. Oh man, I love this movie. This might be one of my favorites. This is from 1955. Now I think this might be the last pairing with them two, I believe. But yeah, directed by Anthony Mann, 1955. It's 104 minutes, and it's really worth it to get a Blu-ray player that's all region, because it's got some great extras on here that you won't find on any of American releases and stuff. And that's why I got an all region player for this stuff. Check on eBay. That's what I do. You can get a player for probably under $200, and it's a Blu-ray player. It's been modded to be all region and stuff. And I've had 3 in my lifetime, and I think I burned out one of them. I used it so much. And then I have one in the bedroom and everything. So anyways, The Man from Laramie. The Man from Laramie. Jimmy Stewart's in this. Great movie, as always. Donald Crisp, Arthur Kennedy is really good in this. Kathy O'Donnell, which she's been in a few movies with him. And Alex Nichol, one of the people you really see a lot and don't really know his name in westerns and stuff. But anyways, yeah, pick this up. There is American releases of this, by the way. I'm sorry I didn't say. There is laser discs of it and stuff like that. So there you go. The Man from Laramie. And then next up, guys, this is the second teaming with Anthony Mann. This is Jimmy Stewart starting with this one with the beautiful Julia Adams. I mean, she was in a lot of Universal movies in the 1950s. She's most famously remembered being in the Creature from the Black Lagoon and stuff. But see, at that time, that was just another, B movie. They were just rolling off the press, and she's in it and stuff. And that one became, a bona fide classic horror movie. But this is The Bend of the River, 1952. This is from Kino, 91 minutes. It's got an audio commentary by Toby Rohn. Very, very insightful guy. Check out his commentaries. But yeah, it's got Arthur Kennedy, Rock Hudson. Rock Hudson was fourth build on in this movie, and Universal was putting out a few movies with him in a Western movie in the early 50s. I think one he plays an Indian and etc. before he broke out and everything. But yeah, Arthur Kennedy, really good, great actor. I mean, Arthur Kennedy's been in so many good things. But yeah, Bend of the River. This is where they're helping. He's leading this group of settlers they've ventured out west and set up a ranch and everything, and the problem is getting supplies back and forth. So they have to get supplies from the town, put it on a riverboat, go way down the river, and then they have to load up some wagons. They got oxes and they're pulling all this. I mean, it was some hard work back in the days, the settlers did and stuff, and it kind of shows that. But they start getting cheated by the guy they get supplies from, and it gets really juicy. It's got some really good action scenes. So yeah, Bend of the River. Next up, this is a later 60s movie. James Stewart did a few really good ones. Now this one, I teamed up with Andrew V. McLaughlin, who did a lot of John Wayne movies. Sorry, I was going to call him James Wayne. But this one's called Bandalero, and this is just the regular 20th Century Fox DVD release of it. I believe there's some good Blu-rays out there. They might be imports. There might be some German releases and stuff on Blu-ray, but this is really good. It's got the beautiful Raquel Welch in this. George Kennedy, another one of those guys. He was in so many good movies. Most famously, he was in, Cool Hand Luke and stuff. Dean Martin. This is one of the Dean Martin Western movies that were really good. Now, he did some stinkers here and there, but this is one of the good ones with Dean Martin. That's somebody I should spotlight one day and stuff, because I know I got at least a handful of good Dean Martin performances. Most famously Rio Bravo. But really good, James Stewart, and this is kind of a, over the border Mexico type of, helping out the people and et cetera, et cetera. I won't go into it. I'm trying to get through this quick, but yeah, Bandalero from I think it's 65, or no, I think it's 66. Next up, this is a really nice release from Kino. This is a movie he also made in 1950, and it's become a I guess it's a cult classic. It's one of the movies that tried to portray Indians as actually humans, you know, Native Americans as human beings and stuff. And there was a few films that started off in the 50s, you know, first couple years they did some really good ones. But this one's Broken Arrow. And again, 1950, this is a Kino release. 93 minutes, so it's subtitles. I like subtitles. I'll put it on at night, you know, like in the bedroom and stuff, so I can always catch everything. But yeah, Broken Arrow, really good movie. So he was directed by, was it Elliot? No, Delmer Daves. Gosh, I kind of think that. But Delmer Daves, I need to spotlight too. He was a really good Western director, and he made some good Westerns and stuff. Delmer Daves. But yeah, really good movies. Pick up this edition. It's really nice. Next up, this is another Anthony Mann team up. This was their third team up, I believe, and this one is for MGM. They went over to MGM, and from 1953, The Naked Spur. And this is a release from Warner Archive. They put this out a few years, maybe not even 2 years ago. They put this out for the first time on Blu-ray, at least in America. And this is got a great cast again. Janet Leigh, Robert Ryan, Ralph Meeker, really good one. And another guy they don't really mention a lot is Millard Mitchell. He plays the old prospector guy with the beard and stuff. Now what I discovered about him somehow, watching something, you know, he was in a lot of movies, and he didn't have a beard, and he was doing other stuff, and I just never realized it was Millard Mitchell. And I think he died young. I think he was like in his early 40s or something like that. But yeah, anyways, The Naked Spur, really good movie. Jimmy Stewart's out to get this guy. He's like doing a bounty hunt. He's gonna get this guy, bring him back with the money. He's gonna rebuy his ranch that he lost because his wife, I think, sold the ranch or did something while he was fighting for the Civil War and stuff. And so he's just got revenge, man. And this one's got some really great action scenes. There's some good river scenes. Robert Ryan's just really evil, man. You don't know what he's gonna do any minute. Like every time they show him, he's just like up to something. He's just like he's just like a wild animal almost or something, you know. But yeah, Naked Spur, really good, really good. Next up, this is another later day Western, also directed by Andrew V. McLaughlin, and I believe this is from '65 too. This is Shannon DOA. And this is on Blu-ray. I believe Kino has a really nice release of this. I haven't upgraded yet, so I still got the older DVD. Pretty good movie. He's kind of a family guy, and Civil War breaks out and kind of divides the family and stuff like that. It's really good. You know, the Civil War tearing a family apart, a big family and stuff. Really, really pretty good. Very dramatic. Next up, another famous movie Jimmy Stewart starred in, also John Wayne, and guys, got a great cast, and famously John Ford directed this. The man who shot Liberty Valance, and this is that 4K that Paramount put out with the slipcase. What I don't understand is they re-released this again with the same stuff and everything. Maybe I missed the memo on that, because it like came out 2 times. It was announced twice as a 4K. So I'm wondering, this is the first one I got, so I wonder, is something wrong with it and they put it back out or something? Maybe I missed the memo on that one. But yeah, this is the 4K Ultra edition. Disc 1 is the 4K, and disc 2 is the Blu-ray. So if you don't have a 4K player, you can still get this really nice edition. But yeah, John Ford directed this. It's got John Wayne. One of his, you know, everybody's really good in this. You know, James Stewart, John Wayne. Famously, it's got, well, slipcase doesn't stay on there very good. Famously got Lee Marvin, Andy Devine. Maybe Andy Devine is also one of those semi-forgotten guys. Just one of those character actors. He was in so many westerns starting in the 30s and stuff. And he's in it. Edmund O'Brien, Vera Miles. It's got a great little cast. And for once, John Ford filmed a movie more on a set. It's black and white. It doesn't have the grand vistas, and Monument Valley is not in this one. It's more set bound. It kind of takes place in the town, and you mostly get that feeling from it. But yeah, good movie, very good. It's a classic. So there you go, Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. Now here's a movie I just watched this. I think I watched this. This was the first movie I watched with the Jimmy Stewart and everything. I put this on. I played it through my 4K player, which I think upgraded it a little bit. And I watched it. It's really good. Now Jimmy Stewart has kind of a small part. It's semi-small, but this is a huge movie. This is How the West Was Won. And this is a great Blu-ray release from Warner Brothers. Now this is the UK release, but it's just like the American release. I got this one because there was an interview, or there were some special features, and the American disc doesn't have that. But yeah, great movie. I mean, got a huge cast here. You got Carol Baker, Lee J. Cobb, Henry Fonda, Carolyn Jones, Carl Malden, Gregory Peck, George Peppard. Robert Preston's even in this, James Stewart, Eli Wallach, John Wayne, Richard Widmark, and Spencer Tracy narrates it. Now the part with John Wayne and Richard Widmark was really small. It's like they just walked into, if I remember it correctly now, they walked into a cabin and it was snowing and a bad storm outside, and basically walked back out. If memory serves me right, that's how small the part is for John Wayne and stuff. And Richard Widmark was teamed up with him in that scene, so it was a very, very, very small scene. But Jimmy Stewart plays a trapper, and I really like his performance in this. I've seen this a few times. It's a longer movie, 164 minutes. So it's one of those movies. Put it on your TV if you got like a 65-inch or a bigger one. Get on the couch, get all snuggly, put this thing on. It's great. I mean, it was filmed in it was filmed in Cinerama, which they only made a few films in Cinerama, and the disc gives you two options to how to watch it. Now, see, when Cinerama was projected, it almost looked like a bow tie. It was like bigger on the sides, and then it got kind of smaller in the center. And they only did a few of these because they had to have special, theaters to show it. They had to have special screens and everything. But they showed it in a version called the Smile Box, which it kind of looks like a half bow tie, kind of. And they call it a Smile Box because it's like this, it's a smile. Or you can watch it in a regular letter box on the Blu-ray. But I watched it on the Smile Box, and it's really cool. You catch those end pieces where it's like, it kind of expands out the picture, if that makes sense. It expands it out. I mean, it's truly widescreen, and you can see all this stuff going on here. A lot of stuff is just the depth of field. The cinematographer did a great job on this. Just really, really good movie. But he plays a trapper. And he kind of falls in love with one of the girls at Carl Malden's family. Kind of helps them out. They get attacked by river pirates. And they end up getting together and stuff. I won't tell y'all about it, but I really do. That's probably my favorite part of the whole movie is Jimmy Stewart as the trapper. And of course, later on, he has a son, George Peppard, and everything. And he's pretty good, too, in it. But yeah, How the West Was Won, really good movie. Almost towards the end, guys. I'm sorry. I know you guys are crying. You want another hour of this. I'm sorry. But this is another release from Arrow. This is It's region A, so I think it's region A locked, so people in the UK can't watch it unless they got a all region player. But this was released by Arrow Academy, and man, this was a great release. This was one of the first movies that I got when I got an all region player and everything, because I started really getting into these Anthony Mann, Jimmy Stewart movies. But yeah, this one, The Far Country. Now this one was what? This one was 1954. Okay, yeah, this was 54. They did this after The Naked Spur and right before The Man from Laramie. So yeah, big movie. I don't know. This movie's not perfect. There's some stuff about it, but man, I love it. I love it. I love watching this movie. I don't know. I just love this case. I mean, it just draws you in, want to watch it. All this blue and stuff. I don't know. It's crazy, man. But I really like this movie a lot. This has got some great extras on it. It's got a 2-disc, so you got a DVD or a Blu-ray, whatever your preference be. And but yeah, it's great. It's got this great little booklet in it. This must be one of the first editions and stuff. I don't know if it's been re-released. It may be out of print, actually. But yeah, The Far Country, really good. Jimmy Stewart and Walter Brennan, king of the character actors in westerns for sure. Walter Brennan. Now he's in him and Jimmy Stewart are, you know, they're traveling together. Jimmy Stewart's kind of a guy that doesn't want to settle down. He just, Walter Brennan's wanting to settle down and buy this little house, and they can live together, kind of like almost like a father and son type of thing. So they're going to go do some prospecting, and they come to this town. This guy basically owns everything, and oh man, it's just one of those, like, he's the a-ho, guy. Everything is his name, and he meets this woman in there, and Ruth Roman. And she's pretty good, and you don't know what side she's on sometimes. She likes Jimmy Stewart, she wants to help him, but then she's backstabbing him over here. It's one of those, but it's really good. It's got some great performances in it and stuff. And it's just, I don't know, it's one of the seminal Jimmy Stewart westerns, in my opinion. But yeah, you can also see this in other editions. This isn't, you don't have to get this edition if you don't. It's on DVD. It's on Laserdisc and everything. So yeah, The Far Country. I mean, I could go into talking about that, talk about all the great characters that's in it and actors, but maybe another time. Next up, guys, this is next to last. We're coming toward an end. This is a movie directed by John Ford. This is another Eureka Masters of Cinema release that is region locked B only. This is Two Rode Together. And really nice packaging and everything. It's got Richard Widmark and James Stewart in it. Now, I really like Richard Widmark and James Stewart in this, but I don't know. There's something about this movie. This is one of my least favorite Jimmy Stewart westerns. And I think what does it is, like, it's got, was it Shirley? What's her name? Shirley Jones. Linda Crystal is in this. Now she was famously in Mr. Majestic with Charles Bronson. She's the long-haired woman that's working with him, getting his watermelons. But yeah, she's in this. Andy Devine's in this. John McIntyre. Now John McIntyre was in The Far Country. He's really good. He's a very good. Been in some great westerns. But yeah, directed by John Ford, and it's from a script by Frank Nugent, which he wrote a lot of good Western movies. He worked a lot, I think he did some other John Ford movies. But there's something about it. I don't know. I don't like the way it looks. Even the color, and some of the scenes, and it's got this kid that's like he's not really an Indian, but he's trying to play like an Indian, and I don't know, maybe I need to rewatch it again, but I've never really ever been into this movie. A lot of times you hear me never really say anything negative about anything, but it's just not really one of my favorites. I mean, I really love Richard Widmark in movies, and of course Jimmy Stewart, and of course John Ford, one of my favorite directors, but just not, I don't know, something does it. I wish it was filmed in black and white. I wish Shirley Jones wasn't in it. I don't know. But anyways, two rode together. That was 1961, by the way. And finally, guys, all things good must come to an end. This is the Western Watch-a-thon 2024 summer watch along summer movie marathon of, you know, I'm focused on a Western star. And by the way, Jimmy Stewart is this year's, and this is the last movie. This is another really awesome release. This is from the Criterion Collection, 1939's Dester Rides Again with Marlene Dietrich. Very good. Directed by George Marshall. George Marshall did some really good Westerns in the 50s. And let me see. I think it's close by. Oh, it's George Sherman. George Mitchell did some good stuff. And I was thinking of another George Sherman I was thinking of. But anyways, this is really good. She's got a lot of people in it. Alan Jenkins, you've seen in a lot of Warner Brothers movies. It's a it's got a comedy by what's his name? Micha Ol. I could never say his name, but he was in a whole bunch of 30s movies like My Man Godfrey and a bunch of stuff like that. He's kind of got a thin mustache and he's got lips like, like that guy. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe you don't. But anyways, 1939, Dester Rides Again. Wow, what a classic. This movie, I mean, in this year, 1939, two seminal all-time classic Westerns came out, Stagecoach and Dester Rides Again. And it's really good. I mean, Jimmy Stewart plays a son of this famous Sheriff Dester, who was a no-nonsense, tough guy, all about his guns, and he cleaned up the town, but he got killed. And town kind of took a dive. It's kind of run by crooked people now. And this one guy's he's kind of playing the drunk guy and stuff. He finally sobers up enough when they jokingly make him sheriff one night when he was drunk in a bar. And they basically just make fun of him. They made him the sheriff, and it was just a joke. But he sobers up, and he telegraphs, you know, Jimmy Stewart to come in and stuff. And he comes in, he agrees to be the sheriff. But he doesn't want to use guns. He doesn't believe in weapons and stuff like that. I think he finally uses one. There's something in it, but really good. Really focus on his character. I mean, one of his best roles. I mean, Marlene Dietrich is really good. This movie's just loaded with good stuff, and this is a really good release. It's really nice. Yeah, make sure you get this. This is the copy you need. For this Dester Rides Again. I'm not sure if it's on Blu-ray on any other ones. It might just be on Blu-ray with this. I'm probably wrong, but there you go. 1939's Dester Rides Again. So there you go, guys. That is the end of the summer Western movie watch-a-thon, star of the month, whatever you want to call it. Jimmy Stewart, one of the greatest Western actors ever, one of the best actors ever. I mean, he's done so many good movies. I mean, one of my favorite his roles was you know, It's a Wonderful Life. I really did. I really come back watching that movie every year, and it's just, man, he came back from the war, you know, World War II, and he just did some great stuff. Really good. He really became a bona fide actor and stuff and everything. Love Jimmy Stewart. So there you go, guys. Check out my other past summer videos. I got one on Randolph Scott, Audie Murphy, Joel McRae, John Wayne. Check those out. Check my channel out, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And give me a big thumbs up. If you love Jimmy Stewart, give me a thumbs up. Let's see how many likes we can get for Jimmy Stewart. Now, guys, that's it. I'm going to get on my horse and ride out. And I'll see you guys again next year. Who will be the summer star of 2025? See you guys next time.